I'm hunched over a greasy transmission on my front step when the door slams open like a gunshot. Tara's voice cuts through the evening air sharp as a blade. "Don't bother coming inside, Eli. Josh told me everything." Her words hang there, and suddenly every porch light on Maple Street flickers on. In this neighborhood, gossip travels faster than light, and everyone's got front row seats to my personal disaster. "What exactly did Josh tell you?" I ask, wiping my hands on an old rag. 23 years of marriage, and she's talking to me like I'm some stranger who wandered onto her property. Don't play dumb with me. Tara's standing in the doorway wearing her power suit, the one she wears when she's closing big real estate deals. Her blonde hair is perfect, her makeup flawless, but her eyes are ice cold. The stealing, the lies. How you've been treating my son. My son, not our son. Never our son, even though I've been paying his bills for 8 years. Stealing what exactly? I stand up, all 6 feet of me unfolding from the concrete step. I'm not an imposing guy. 48 years old, thinning hair, hands permanently stained with motor oil. But I've got 20 years on Josh, and right now I'm wondering if that matters. The money from our joint account. Josh saw the statements. $5,000, Eli. Gone. I almost laugh. Almost. You mean the $5,000 I spent fixing your transmission? The one you're driving right now? But she's not listening. She's already made up her mind, and in Tara's world, once she decides something, it becomes truth. That's what makes her such a successful real estate agent. That's also what's about to make her my ex-wife. "Pack your things," she says. "I want you out tonight." Mrs. Henderson from next door is pretending to water her flowers, but she's hanging on every word. By tomorrow morning, half of Cleveland will know that Tara Parker threw her husband out on the street. The other half will know by noon. I could fight this. I could demand explanations, threaten lawyers, make a scene that would give the neighbors something to talk about for months. Instead, I nod. "Fine," I say. "I'll grab some clothes." 20 minutes later, I'm loading my pickup truck with everything I own that fits in 2 duffel bags. Tara watches from the window, arms crossed, while Josh lurks behind her like a shadow. He's 20 years old, 6 feet tall, and has never worked a day in his life. His idea of exercise is walking to the refrigerator. As I throw my bags in the truck bed, Josh appears at the front door. "Hey, Eli," he calls out, and there's something in his voice that makes my skin crawl. "Maybe now you'll learn some respect." I turn around slowly. Respect? For people who matter. He's grinning now, showing teeth that I paid to straighten. Maybe this will teach you not to mess with family. There it is. The real reason. Not stolen money or mistreatment. This is about power. About a 20-year-old kid who figured out he could manipulate his mother into choosing sides. I could say something. I could tell him exactly what I think of him, exactly what he's doing to his mother, exactly how this is going to end. Instead, I smile. "You're right, Josh," I say. "This is definitely going to teach someone about respect." He doesn't catch the tone. He's too busy enjoying his victory. I climb into my truck and drive away from the only home I've known for 8 years. In my rearview mirror, I can see Tara and Josh standing in the doorway, watching me disappear into the night. They think they've won. They have no idea what game we're really playing. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. The Riverside Motel isn't much to look at. Peeling paint, flickering neon sign, the kind of place where people go to disappear. It's perfect for a guy who just got erased from his own life. I'm sitting on the edge of a bed that's seen better decades, staring at my phone. 3 missed calls from my buddy Danny at O'Malley's bar, 2 from my boss at the warehouse, and 1 from a number I don't recognize. The unknown number left a voicemail. "Eli, it's Karen from Tara's office." Karen's voice is whisper quiet, like she's afraid someone might overhear. "I think there's something you should know. Meet me at the Denny's on Route 9 tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. Trust me on this." Karen Mitchell has worked with Tara for 3 years. Nice woman, divorced, always seemed to like me at office parties. Why she's calling me now is a mystery, but in my current situation, mysteries are all I've got. I spend the night staring at water stains on the ceiling, listening to trucks rumble past on the highway. By 7:30 the next morning, I'm sitting in a corner booth at Denny's, nursing coffee that tastes like it was brewed in a tire shop. Karen slides in across from me at exactly 8 o'clock. She's nervous, fidgeting with her purse strap, looking around like she expects Tara to burst through the door. "I shouldn't be here," she says, "but you are." She takes a deep breath. "Eli, how long has Tara been going to that CrossFit gym?" "About 6 months. Why?" Karen pulls out her phone. scrolls through something, then turns the screen toward me. It's a photo from social media. Tara and some guy I don't recognize, both in workout clothes, both grinning at the camera. His arm is around her waist, and she's looking at him like he just invented electricity. His name is Mitch Harlan, Karen says. He owns the gym. I study the photo. Mitch is maybe 10 years younger than me, all muscles and perfect teeth. The kind of guy who probably drinks protein shakes for breakfast and calls everyone buddy. When was this taken? 2 weeks ago, but Eli... Karen scrolls to another photo. Same guy, same grin, but this time they're not at the gym. They're at some restaurant I recognize. Antonio's, the Italian place where Tara told me she was having dinner with clients last Thursday. There's more, Karen says, and her voice is barely audible. She's been using the office after hours. I came back one night to get some files I forgot, and I heard voices from her office. I thought maybe she was working late with a client, so I didn't want to interrupt. But when I walked past her door, she doesn't finish the sentence. She doesn't need to. How long? I ask. I don't know for sure, but I started paying attention after that night. The late meetings that aren't on her calendar. The phone calls she takes in private. The way she lights up when he texts her. Karen slides her phone back into her purse. I'm sorry, Eli. I thought you should know. I sit back in the booth, processing this information. 23 years of marriage, and my wife is having an affair with a gym owner named Mitch. It's so cliché, it's almost funny. Almost. Why are you telling me this? I ask. Karen's eyes flash with something that might be anger. Because she's been talking about you at the office. Telling everyone you're unstable, that you've been drinking too much, that you've been cruel to Josh. She's building a narrative, Eli, getting people on her side before the divorce. Now that's interesting. Tara's always been 3 steps ahead in everything she does. She doesn't just win, she makes sure her opponents can't even get in the game. Thanks for telling me, I say. Karen nods and stands to leave, then pauses. Eli, whatever you're thinking of doing, be careful. Tara's got friends in this town. Important friends. After she leaves, I sit in that booth for another hour, thinking. Tara's been planning this for months. And the affair, the lies about me, getting Josh to turn against me. It's all been one big setup. She wanted me out of the house, out of her life, and out of her way. Well, congratulations, Tara. You got what you wanted. Now let's see how you like what I want. Danny O'Malley's bar is the kind of place where the beer is cold, the music is loud, and nobody asks too many questions. It's also where I've been drinking since I turned 21, which means Danny knows me better than most people. You look like garbage, Danny says, sliding a beer across the bar. Thanks. You always know just what to say. Danny's 60 years old, built like a fire hydrant, and spent 25 years as a cop before he bought this place. If anyone knows how to handle a messy situation, it's him. Karen called me, he says. Told me what she told you. Of course she did. In a town this size, secrets don't stay secret long. So what's your plan? Danny asks. And please tell me it doesn't involve anything that'll get you arrested. No arrests, I promise. But I'm not going to just roll over and let them destroy me. Them? I tell Danny about Josh, about the lies, about the setup. By the time I'm finished, Danny's shaking his head. That little punk, he mutters. I never liked him. Nobody likes him, but Tara thinks he walks on water. Danny wipes down the bar with a rag that's seen better days. You know what your problem is, Eli. You're too nice. Always have been. You let people walk all over you, and then you act surprised when they do it. Maybe. No maybe about it. But here's the thing. Nice guys don't have to stay nice forever. Danny leans across the bar, lowering his voice. You want some advice from an old cop? I nod. Document everything. Every lie, every conversation, every piece of evidence you can find. Build a case like you're going to trial, because in a way, you are. The court of public opinion. What do you mean? Tara's reputation is everything to her, right? Her real estate business, her standing in the community, her image as the perfect suburban wife and mother. What happens if that reputation gets damaged? I'm starting to see where he's going with this. But you gotta be smart about it, Danny continues. No breaking laws, no violence, nothing that makes you look like the bad guy. You fight fire with fire, but you do it clean. Over the next 3 days, I become a detective. I park across from Tara's real estate office and watch her come and go. I follow her to the gym and see her meet Mitch in the parking lot. I take photos, make notes, build a timeline. What I discover is that Karen was right. This affair has been going on for months. Tara and Mitch aren't even trying to hide it anymore. They have lunch together at least twice a week. She stays late at the gym every Tuesday and Thursday. Last weekend, while I thought she was showing houses to clients, she was actually at some fitness expo with him in Columbus. But the real revelation comes when I'm going through old credit card statements. Tara's been spending money like water. Expensive dinners, weekend trips, new workout clothes. But here's the interesting part. Some of the charges are for things I know she didn't buy for herself. A men's watch, expensive protein supplements, a membership to some fancy golf club that Tara's never shown any interest in. She's been buying gifts for Mitch, with our money. I'm sitting in my motel room, surrounded by papers and photos, when my phone rings. It's Josh. Eli? His voice is different now, less cocky than it was 3 days ago. We need to talk. About what? About things? Can you meet me somewhere? This is interesting. Where? The parking lot behind the old Blockbuster. You know where that is? I know where it is. It's also the kind of place where people go when they don't want to be seen. When? Now. 20 minutes later, I'm sitting in my truck in an empty parking lot, waiting. Josh pulls up in the Honda Civic that I helped him buy last year. He looks nervous. He climbs into my passenger seat without saying hello. Mom doesn't know I'm here, he says. I figured. She's really angry, Eli, like scary angry. She's been calling lawyers, talking about taking everything in the divorce. That's her right. Josh fidgets with the door handle. The thing is, I might have exaggerated some stuff. About you, I mean, when I talked to her. Exaggerated how? I told her you were stealing money, but I knew you weren't really stealing. I knew it was for car repairs and stuff. I was mad about something else, and I wanted to get back at you. Mad about what? Josh's face reddens. You remember last month when you wouldn't co-sign for that loan? For my friend's business idea? I remember. Josh wanted me to help him borrow $15,000 for some cryptocurrency scheme his buddy had cooked up. I told him it was a scam and refused to put my name on the paperwork. You embarrassed me, Josh continues, in front of my friends. Made me look like some kid who couldn't handle his own business. So you decided to destroy my marriage? I didn't think it would go this far. Josh's voice is getting smaller. I thought maybe Mom would yell at you for a few days and then everything would go back to normal. I didn't know about the other stuff. What other stuff? Josh looks at me like I'm an idiot. The gym guy, Eli, Mitch. Everyone knows about it except you. Everyone? All of Mom's friends, most of the people at her office, half the neighborhood. They've been talking about it for weeks. So I'm not just a cheated-on husband. I'm a clueless cheated-on husband. The last one to know? The neighborhood joke. Perfect. Why are you telling me this now? I ask. Josh shrugs. Because I feel bad, I guess. And because Mom's been acting weird, like weirder than usual. She's talking about selling the house, moving somewhere else, starting over. With Mitch? Maybe, I don't know. But if she does that, what happens to me? I'm supposed to start my senior year at State in the fall. If she sells the house and moves away. And there it is. Josh isn't feeling guilty about destroying my marriage. He's worried about his college tuition. I can't help you with that, I tell him. But maybe you could talk to her, work things out. I almost laugh. Josh, your mother is having an affair. She threw me out of my own house based on lies you told her. She's been spreading rumors about me all over town, and you want me to work things out? Josh looks genuinely confused, like he can't understand why I'm not jumping at the chance to forgive and forget. But if you don't, he says, everything's going to fall apart. Everything already fell apart. 3 days ago, when you decided to lie to your mother about me. I reach across him and open the passenger door. Get out, Josh. Eli, wait. Get out. He climbs out of my truck, and I drive away without looking back. In my rearview mirror, I can see him standing in that empty parking lot, probably wondering how his perfect plan went so wrong. Here's what Josh doesn't understand. Some things can't be fixed. Some betrayals can't be forgiven. Some games, once you start playing them, have to be played to the end. And I'm just getting started. The next morning, I'm sitting outside CrossFit Revolution at 6 a.m., watching through the windows as Mitch leads an early morning workout class. He's everything I expected. Tall, muscular, wearing one of those tight shirts that shows off his physique. The kind of guy who probably takes selfies at the gym and posts motivational quotes on social media. At 7:15, the class ends and people start filing out. Tara isn't among them, but I wasn't expecting her to be. According to my research, she comes in later for private training sessions. Mitch locks up the gym and walks to his Jeep, a black Wrangler with custom rims and a sound system that probably costs more than I make in a month. He's talking on his phone, laughing about something. I follow him. He stops at a coffee shop, then a supplement store, then a tanning salon. This guy's routine is more complicated than a NASA launch sequence. Finally, around 9 a.m., he drives to a small office complex and parks in front of a financial planning business. Interesting. I wait in the parking lot for an hour. When Mitch comes out, he's not alone. There's an older man with him, wearing an expensive suit and carrying a briefcase. They shake hands, and the older man hands Mitch some paperwork. After Mitch drives away, I walk into the office building and check the directory. The financial planning business is called Premier Investment Solutions, and according to the sign, they specialize in business loans and debt consolidation. Debt consolidation. That's interesting. I spend the rest of the morning at the library using their computers to research Mitch Harlan and his gym. What I find is fascinating. CrossFit Revolution has been open for 2 years, and it's been struggling almost from the beginning. According to public records, Mitch has taken out 3 different business loans, maxed out several credit cards, and is currently behind on rent for the building. The gym is failing, and Mitch is desperate. Suddenly, Tara's affair makes more sense. She's not just cheating with some random trainer, she's involved with a guy who needs money. A lot of money. I drive to Tara's real estate office and park across the street. At 11:30, she comes out for lunch. Instead of going to a restaurant, she drives straight to the gym. I follow her. She parks behind the building in a spot that's not visible from the street. Mitch is waiting for her. They don't go inside the gym. Instead, they sit in her car for 20 minutes, having what looks like an intense conversation. At one point, Tara hands him an envelope that looks suspiciously like the kind you'd use to carry cash. After Tara leaves, I wait for Mitch to go back inside, then I walk around to the back of the building. There's a dumpster there, and next to it, a pile of discarded mail and paperwork. I'm not proud of what I do next, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Most of the paperwork is junk. Old invoices, expired coupons, promotional flyers. But at the bottom of the pile, I find something interesting. A bank statement for CrossFit Revolution, dated last month. The gym is in serious trouble. They're 3 months behind on rent, 2 months behind on equipment payments, and their checking account balance is negative $4,000. But here's the really interesting part. There are several recent deposits listed as private investor contributions. The amounts match up perfectly with the dates I've seen Tara visiting the gym. My wife isn't just having an affair, she's financially supporting her lover's failing business. With our money. I fold the bank statement and put it in my pocket. Then I drive to the courthouse and spend the afternoon researching property records. What I discover is the final piece of the puzzle. 3 weeks ago, Tara took out a second mortgage on our house. $50,000, with her signature only. According to the paperwork, the money was for home improvements. But our house doesn't have any new improvements. What it has is a wife who's been funneling money to her boyfriend's failing gym. That evening, I'm back at O'Malley's, sharing my discoveries with Danny. So let me get this straight, Danny says. She's cheating on you, lying about you, and stealing from you, all at the same time. That's about the size of it. And the gym boyfriend is basically a con artist who's using her for money. Looks that way. Danny shakes his head. Eli, you've got enough here to destroy both of them in divorce court. Hell, you could probably get her arrested for fraud. I don't want her arrested, I say. I want something better than that. What's better than justice? I smile. Public humiliation. Danny grins back. Now you're talking my language. We spend the next hour planning my counterattack. It's going to be surgical, devastating, and completely legal. By the time I'm done, everyone in town will know exactly what kind of person Tara really is. And the best part? She's going to help me do it. Saturday morning, I'm parked outside the gym again, but this time I'm not alone. Danny's in the passenger seat, holding a camera with a telephoto lens. You sure about this? He asks. I'm sure. At 9 a.m., Tara's car pulls into the parking lot. She's dressed for working out, but she's also carrying that same envelope I saw her with yesterday. There, I tell Danny, get ready. Tara walks into the gym, and through the windows we can see her talking to Mitch. After a few minutes, she hands him the envelope. He opens it, counts what's inside, then leans over and kisses her. Danny's camera clicks rapidly. Got it, he says. Clear shots of the money exchange and the kiss. Perfect. We wait for another hour. When Tara comes out of the gym, she's not alone. Mitch is with her, and they're both laughing about something. They walk to her car together, and before she drives away, they have another long kiss. More photos. This is almost too easy, Danny mutters. That afternoon, I put phase 2 of my plan into action. I drive to the office of the local newspaper, the Cleveland Heights Gazette. It's a small weekly paper, but it covers all the local news, including real estate transactions and business developments. The editor is a woman named Patricia Wells. She's been running the paper for 15 years, and she knows everyone in town. Eli Parker, she says when I walk into her office. I heard about you and Tara. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry yet, I tell her. I've got a story for you. I show Patricia the bank statement, the photos, and the mortgage documents. I explain about the failing gym, the secret loans, and the affair. This is quite a story, Patricia says. But I have to ask, what's your motivation here? This looks like revenge? Maybe it is, I admit. But it's also the truth. Tara's been using her position in the community to cover up financial fraud. She took out a mortgage on our house without my knowledge and used the money to support her boyfriend's business. That's not just adultery, it's theft. Patricia studies the documents. You know this will destroy her career, right? And probably his business too. I know. And you're okay with that? I'm more than okay with it. Patricia nods. The story runs in Wednesday's edition. Wednesday morning, I'm sitting in O'Malley's at 7 a.m., reading the front page of the Cleveland Heights Gazette. The headline reads, Local real estate agent under investigation for mortgage fraud. The story is everything I hoped it would be. Patricia didn't just report the facts. She connected the dots. The failing gym, the secret loans, the affair, the forged mortgage documents. It's all there, laid out in black and white for everyone to see. By 8 a.m., my phone starts ringing. First it's Karen from Tara's office, then some of Tara's clients, then people I haven't talked to in years. Everyone wants to know if the story is true. No comment, I tell them all. At 9 a.m., Tara calls. You bastard, she says, and her voice is shaking with rage. How could you do this to me? Do what? I ask. Tell the truth? You've destroyed everything. My career, my reputation, my life. Funny, I say. That's exactly how I felt 3 days ago when you threw me out of my own house. This is different, and you know it. Is it? You lied about me to anyone who would listen. You stole money from our joint accounts. You took out a mortgage on our house without my permission. And you've been having an affair for months. But somehow I'm the bad guy for exposing it? There's a long silence on the other end of the line. I want a divorce, Tara finally says. Good, I tell her. So do I. She hangs up. 20 minutes later, Josh calls. Eli, you've got to fix this, he says, and he sounds panicked. Mom's lost 3 clients already this morning. Her boss is talking about suspending her, and there are reporters calling the house. Sounds rough. This isn't funny. If Mom loses her job, how is she going to pay for my college? That's between you and your mother, Josh. But you caused this. You have to make it right. I almost laugh. I caused this? Josh, your mother committed mortgage fraud. I just made sure people knew about it. She was trying to help someone she cared about. She was stealing from her husband to support her lover. There's a difference. Josh is quiet for a moment. What do you want? He finally asks. I want the truth. I want Tara to admit publicly that she lied about me. I want her to apologize for destroying my reputation, and I want her to pay back every penny she stole from our joint accounts. And if she does that, then maybe I'll consider not pressing charges for the mortgage fraud. You would really have her arrested? Try me. That afternoon, I get a call from a lawyer representing Tara. He wants to meet to discuss an amicable resolution to this unfortunate situation. We meet at his office downtown. He's a smooth-talking guy in an expensive suit, the kind of lawyer who specializes in making problems disappear for wealthy clients. My client is prepared to offer you a generous settlement, he says, in exchange for your agreement not to pursue any criminal charges. How generous? He slides a piece of paper across the desk. The number is impressive, more money than I've ever seen in one place. There's just one condition, the lawyer continues. You have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. No more talking to reporters, no more public statements about my client. I pretend to consider the offer. What about the apology? I'm afraid that's not possible. My client maintains that she did nothing wrong. Then we don't have a deal. The lawyer looks surprised. Mr. Parker, this is a very generous offer. You should consider it carefully. I have considered it, and my answer is no. I stand up to leave. Mr. Parker, the lawyer calls after me, what exactly do you want? I turn back to him. I want justice, and I want everyone in this town to know exactly what kind of person your client really is. And then what? You'll be satisfied? Then, I say, we'll see. Thursday evening, there's a town hall meeting at the high school auditorium. It's supposed to be about the proposed new library, but I know what everyone's really going to be talking about. I arrive early and take a seat in the back row. the auditorium fills up quickly. This is the biggest crowd I've ever seen at a town meeting. Word travels fast in a small town, especially when it involves scandal. Tara arrives 15 minutes late, walking in through the side door like she's trying not to be noticed. She's wearing dark sunglasses and a baseball cap, but everyone recognizes her anyway. Conversations stop as she passes. People stare. She takes a seat near the front, as far away from me as possible. The meeting starts with the usual boring stuff. Budget reports, committee updates, the proposed library construction, but I can feel the tension in the room. Everyone's waiting for someone to bring up the elephant. Finally, during the public comment period, Mrs. Henderson from my old neighborhood stands up. "I have a question about community standards," she says. "What kind of message are we sending to our young people when prominent members of our community engage in fraud and adultery?" The room goes silent. Everyone knows she's talking about Tara. Mayor Davidson, who's been running these meetings for 20 years, clears his throat. "Mrs. Henderson, this meeting is about city business, not personal matters." "But isn't the character of our community leaders a matter of city business?" Mrs. Henderson persists. "Especially when those leaders are involved in illegal activities?" Now people are murmuring. Some are nodding in agreement. Others look uncomfortable. Tara stands up. "I'd like to respond to that," she says. Mayor Davidson looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Mrs. Parker, I'm not sure this is the appropriate forum." "It's fine," Tara says. She removes her sunglasses and turns to face the crowd. "I know there have been rumors and accusations. I know some of you have read the newspaper article about me. I want to set the record straight." The auditorium is completely quiet now. Everyone's listening. "Yes, I made mistakes," Tara continues. "I made some poor financial decisions. I trusted someone I shouldn't have trusted, but I never intended to hurt anyone, and I certainly never intended to break any laws." She's good at this. Her voice is steady, her posture confident. She's playing the role of the wronged woman, the victim of circumstances beyond her control. "The truth is," Tara says, "I've been the victim of a vindictive ex-husband who can't accept that our marriage is over. Eli Parker has been stalking me, harassing me, and spreading lies about me in an effort to destroy my reputation and my career." Now she's looking directly at me. "He's been following me, taking pictures of me, going through my personal papers. He's violated my privacy and my safety, all because he can't handle the fact that I don't want to be married to him anymore." There are murmurs from the crowd now. Some people are looking at me with suspicion. Tara's spinning this perfectly, making herself the victim and me the villain. "So, yes," Tara continues, "I made some mistakes. But I'm not the monster that my ex-husband is trying to make me out to be. I'm just a woman who fell in love with the wrong person and trusted someone who betrayed that trust." She sits down to scattered applause. About half the room seems to be buying her story. Mayor Davidson looks relieved. "Thank you, Mrs. Parker. Now, if we could get back to the library proposal." I stand up. "I'd like to respond," I say. The mayor sighs. "Mr. Parker, I really think we should move on." "Just 5 minutes," I say. "Then I'll leave you alone." He nods reluctantly. I walk to the front of the auditorium, and suddenly I'm facing 200 people who all think they know my story. Some of them look sympathetic, others look hostile, most just look curious. "Tara's right about one thing," I begin. "She did fall in love with the wrong person, but it wasn't me." I pull out a folder and open it. 3 months ago, my wife started having an affair with Mitch Harlan, the owner of CrossFit Revolution. That's not an accusation, it's a fact. I have photos, witnesses, and documentation. I hold up one of Danny's photographs. It clearly shows Tara and Mitch kissing in the gym parking lot. "But the affair isn't the real problem," I continue. "The real problem is that Mitch Harlan's business is failing. He owes money to everyone, the bank, his landlord, his equipment suppliers, and my wife decided to help him out." I hold up the bank statement. She's been giving him cash, thousands of dollars over the past 3 months. Money that came from our joint accounts, money that she took without my knowledge or permission. The crowd is completely silent now. "But that wasn't enough," I continue. "So she took out a second mortgage on our house, $50,000, with only her signature. She told the bank it was for home improvements, but the money went straight to her boyfriend's business." I hold up the mortgage documents. That's not a mistake. That's not poor judgment. That's fraud. Now people are shifting in their seats. The mood in the room is changing. "Tara says I've been stalking her and harassing her," I continue. "What I've been doing is investigating. Because when your wife throws you out of your own house based on lies, and then you find out she's been stealing your money to support her lover, you tend to want answers. I look directly at Tara. She's not looking confident anymore. Everything I've told you tonight can be verified, I say. The photos, the bank records, the mortgage documents, it's all real. You can check for yourselves. I close the folder. Tara's not the victim here. She's a woman who decided that her happiness was more important than her marriage, her integrity, or the law. And when she got caught, she tried to blame everyone else. I start walking back to my seat, then stop and turn around. Oh, and one more thing, I say. Josh Parker, Tara's son, started this whole mess by lying to his mother about me. He told her I was stealing money and mistreating him, knowing it wasn't true because he was angry that I wouldn't co-sign a loan for him. So if you're looking for someone to blame for this situation, you might want to start there. The auditorium erupts. People are talking, arguing, pointing. Some are demanding to see the documents. Others are defending Tara. A few are calling for the police. In the middle of all the chaos, I see Tara stand up and walk quickly toward the exit. She's not playing the victim anymore. She's running. I follow her outside. She's standing by her car, crying and talking on her phone. Mitch, it's over, she's saying. He knows everything, the money, the mortgage, all of it. We need to talk. She sees me and hangs up the phone. Are you happy now? She asks. You've destroyed everything. I didn't destroy anything, I tell her. I just stopped pretending it wasn't already broken. What do you want from me, Eli? What will it take for you to leave me alone? I want you to tell the truth. I want you to admit that you lied about me, that you stole from me, and that you've been having an affair. Fine, she says. I admit it. I lied, I stole, and I cheated. Are you satisfied? Getting there. What else? I want you to pay back every penny you took from our accounts. I want you to refinance the house and pay me my half of the equity. And I want you to publicly apologize for trying to destroy my reputation. Tara wipes her eyes with the back of her hand. And if I do all that, then I'll consider not pressing charges for the mortgage fraud. Consider? That's the best offer you're going to get. She looks at me for a long moment, and I can see her calculating, trying to figure out if she has any other options. She doesn't. Fine, she says finally. I'll have my lawyer draw up the papers. Good. She gets in her car and drives away, leaving me standing in the parking lot under the streetlights. My phone buzzes with a text message. It's from Danny. How did it go? I text back. Game over. I won. But as I drive back to my motel room, I realize that winning doesn't feel quite the way I expected it to. Tara's life is in ruins. Her career is probably over. Her relationship with Mitch won't survive the financial pressure. Josh is going to have to find his own way to pay for college. I should feel satisfied. I should feel vindicated. Instead, I just feel tired. 23 years of marriage, and this is how it ends. With lawyers and accusations and public humiliation. Not with love or forgiveness or even mutual respect, but with a town hall meeting that turned into a Jerry Springer episode. But maybe that's what justice looks like sometimes. Maybe it's not about feeling good. Maybe it's just about making sure the truth comes out and the people who were wronged get made whole. And maybe, just maybe, it's about making sure that the next time someone thinks about lying and cheating and stealing, they remember what happened to Tara Parker and decide it's not worth the risk. I park at the motel and sit in my truck for a few minutes, thinking about what comes next. Tomorrow, I'll start looking for a new place to live. I'll call a lawyer about the divorce proceedings. I'll figure out how to rebuild my life from scratch. But tonight, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the fact that, for the first time in months, I don't have to wonder what my wife is really doing or who she's really with, or whether the person I've been married to for 23 years actually exists. The game is over. The truth is out, and I'm still standing. That's enough for now.